In this lecture, we will study what is a social network. Then we will take two examples of social networks, a friendship network and a collaboration network. And then we will study three examples of social networks that are reported in the literature. The first of those is the emergence of conventions in the Twitter social network, particularly the retweet feature in Twitter network that probably many of you know. Second is a Bible social network. It is a social network consisting of all the people who appear in the Bible and the relations between them. And third, Framingham obesity study, which is a study of obesity and its effect on heart conditions in a social setting. The Wikipedia defines a social network as a structure of social arrangements made up of a set of actors. There are three concepts here. The concept of actors. The actors could be people, they could be organizations, they could be cities, they could be countries, and so on. The social arrangements are relations or ties that bind these different actors to make the social network. And what a social network does is to provide us a model of the structure of social arrangements between the set of actors. The actors usually are represented by points or nodes, that is, circles. The identity of the actors are written in the circles. The social arrangements are usually represented by lines or arrows. They are represented by lines if it is a reciprocal arrangement, in the sense, for example, if A is a friend of B and B is also a friend of A, it is a reciprocal sort of a relationship. On the other hand, if it is not reciprocal, it is a one-way sort of a relationship. They are represented by arrows. Let us look at networks in general. Social network is a kind of a network. Network is a more general concept. A network is a mathematical structure consisting of nodes and edges on arcs. Examples are transportation networks, phone networks, electrical networks, and so on. In the network, for example, in case of a social network, the nodes represent actors. Edges and arcs represent relations. Edges represent reciprocal relationships, whereas arcs represent directional relationships. They're arrows. In a transportation network, for example, the nodes are cities. If you look at the interstate highway map of the United States, the points there, the nodes are the cities, and there is a relation between any two cities if there is an interstate that connects them. Let us consider next the three examples one by one. First, we will look at the friendship network. This is an example. There are 8 people in this particular graph, A through H. If you look at A, there are 4 lines that connect A to B, C, D, and E. These red lines indicate that there is a friendship between the people at the two ends of the line. For example, between A and B, A and C, and so on and so forth. If you look at this particular graph, A, E, and F are three different sort of people, nodes, because A has four friends, F has three friends, and B, C, D, G, and H have just one friend each. The number of relations incident to an actor or a node is called the degree. So these are degrees of the nodes. The one way of interpreting the degree of the node in this particular friendship network is that A has more friends than F, and F has more friends than any of B, C, D, G, and H. The more friends a person has, you can interpret it as having that person having more power in some sense in the social network. So you can arrange the set of people by order of power. So A has more power than F, who has more power than B, C, D, G, and H, and so on. This relationship between degree of a node and the power we will study later on in the course. Let us look at the second example. This is an example of a collaboration in research between Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and the G7 between 1996 and 2000. If you see this social network is sort of dense in the sense that there are a lot of relations between these countries. And the second thing is that the nodes have been organized in such a way in this particular graph so that the countries which have large number of nodes are in the middle of the network, and the nodes on the periphery of the network are the countries that have less degrees. Now, later on, we will study software whereby you can sort of rearrange the nodes in the network so that you can observe that structure much better. Let us look at the second example.